Hello, this is Valkor Drake Rider. Today I'm going to be showing you my Azteca quest and puzzle house. I recently released a trailer for this, and this video is going to be a full walkthrough showing you all the different puzzles. So the first thing that you need to know is the sort of theme, story setup of it, is that there's an evil emperor's tomb that you wish to uncover the ancient treasures and relics from. However, there is a curse set upon it by this deceased evil emperor that disallows you from entering it. You'll see there is a storm cloud at the mouth of the tomb that prevents you from getting through. So your objective is to somehow bypass that and get through. You're going to be using the different resources around the town through multiple puzzles in order to do that. Now, the first two important things that you really need to know is, one, if you hit buy in your menu chat menu, you will be teleported to the start. This is important in case you get stuck in something, so it's an unstuck feature. The second thing that you will want to know is that there will always be two stars somewhere in the area. One will always persist and marks the primary objective of the outside area, and the second one will tell you the primary location for your current objective. So the first one, which will always persist, will be over here by the mouth of the volcano. And you'll see there's multiple obstacles which prevent you from getting in, so you will know that the objective for the entire outside is you're trying to enter in through the volcano. Now, you're not going to know exactly where to go if this is your first time going through it, but since I actually made this myself, I know that the first objective is over here. Now, the first thing you'll notice is there's this wanted poster. And then you'll notice that there is a cushion, a ball of yarn, some fish, and a pouting child indicating that there is a cat missing. Now, there's two things that are interactable in this room. First is this basket of fish, which you can pick up with a magic button. And second is this ladder. Now, seeing that the ladder is interactable and you picked it up, you would then logically ration that the cat is stuck somewhere high, like a tree, for example. So we're going to go to my own little man-made tree over here and find that there is a cat missing in it. If you approach, the ladder will appear, and you can then use it to retrieve the cat. However, the cat will not actually head home unless you lead it there. So you're going to find that in a linear path all the way to the house, there are magic buttons which allow you to lay fish, hence leading it to the house. You see, you can just kind of follow a linear path all the way there. Now, while we wait for the cat to get all the way over here, oh, whoops, I just got myself stuck, but we have a nice handy-dandy solution for that. Now, as we wait for the cat to get to the final location just after this one, fun little fact for you. If you try to route the cat such that it walks directly through this door, it will treat the top of the doorway as floor, and it will actually step up on top of the doorway and climb on top of the roof, which is really quite unfortunate and annoying. So you have to have it phase through the wall for this puzzle, unfortunately. Now you'll hear that a puzzle complete noise sounded off, and now we have a pickaxe represented by this fire orb, which will allow us to clear away those crystals. And you'll see, once those are cleared away, our next issue is this Cerberus. or I should say Orthrus. Now our next objective will be pertaining to these folks. These Krakatopians are stranded as their ship was attacked. So you have to find the materials with which they are asking for in order to help them repair their ship. So the first and easiest one to find in order to repair the sail is this balance spanner. You just interact with it. You'll see it is then placed upon this rock. You interact with it then, you'll see these spears disappear. Now the water and the planks, the water for putting out the fire and the planks for replacing the broken ones, can be found over here. If you interact with this bucket, and then interact with it again near the pond, you'll get a filled bucket, which you can then accept. For the wood, you're going to walk up to each of these trees and just keep spamming X on them until they disappear. It's kind of a funny way of chopping down trees. Instead of falling to the ground, they shrink until they're gone. And then you're going to find yourself with a wood pile, which you can then chop into fine planks, and then retrieve them for your ship. You can kind of circumnavigate a little bit faster by using that as well. And then we just have to interact with our planks. You'll see the broken planks will disappear, and then our water. The fire disappears, and we are left with an ice orb, which represents this here Fang Harp. And with the Fang Harp, we can lull our Orthrus to sleep. However, a new enemy which blocks our way emerges, and so we are left with one final puzzle for the outside area. And you guessed it, it is the central PvP sigil. Now the way this puzzle works is pretty simple. One enemy will be spawned every cycle, and you simply have to select the school which is advantageous against it. So in this case, it is an evil snowman, which is ice, so we're just going to select fire. A spell will be summoned for fire, and you'll see that we earned a point. Upon reaching 6 points, the puzzle will end, and you will have succeeded. Now, if you press the wrong button in any way, you will not be awarded a point, however the spell will still go off and the enemy will disappear. Points will not be subtracted. The reason I decided not to have points subtracted was because it is not very difficult to accidentally press the wrong button, because they are in close proximity of each other. So it would seem unfair if you pressed the wrong button unintentionally and had a point subtracted. This isn't meant to be a difficult puzzle anyways, more so to entertain. We're getting a decent variety this time. This is all done by a random reflector that determines which enemies spawn. So, on occasion, if you're unlucky, you can have the majority of your 6 or more spawns be the same enemy, which can be a tad boring. I remember when I was first testing this, I kept getting satyrs on repeat constantly, and feared that it may not be functioning correctly. Fortunately, that was not the case, and I was just getting unlucky. And you'll see a puzzle complete noise plays, and we are awarded with an Aztecan sword, which we can then use to defeat the enemy which blocks our path, gaining us entrance into the volcano. Now, the inside of the house is structured quite a bit differently from the outside. Instead of having mostly scavenger-type puzzles, you have 7 individual puzzles with each their own unique mechanics. Now you'll see in the center there are 3 pedestals. Each one holds an orb, an ice, fire, and storm. And the objective is to acquire those 3 orbs to grant you access to the tomb. So before we head on over there, we are going to go this way. And we will immediately see a seemingly accessible storm orb, but it almost seems too easy to get. So if you walk up towards it, it'll teleport away, and as you keep running at it, it will teleport away. So you might think, okay, well, if you hug the inside, perhaps you'll be able to get to it. But you'll quickly find out that's not the case. So what if you ran in the opposite direction? Nope. You still cannot catch up to it. So then you think, what if I hug the wall? So you try hugging the wall, and that doesn't seem to do anything for you. But upon hugging the wall, you may find that there is a secret passage. It's blocked at the top for now, but this is going to be instrumental in solving the storm orb puzzle. So for now, you're just going to move so that the storm orb ends up right in front of where the secret passage's entrance lies. And then you're just going to leave it. Now, as we circle back to the main location, you're also going to see that the fire orb is over here, accessible by this portal. However, a blazing fire prevents you from crossing, and there actually is no way for you to enter from this side. So you need to access the portal from behind in order to get the orb. So when you get over here, you're going to see there's 2 ways to go, to the right and to the left. Up here is inaccessible because it is blocked off by this giant stone block. So we're going to start by going over here, and we're going to see a crate on an icy floor and a symbol. So this is a crate pushing puzzle, and the objective is to push the crate onto the symbol wherever it lies. Now, if you just walk up against the crate, you'll notice that it pushes in whatever direction you push it towards. However, when you try pushing in it again, it will not move. However, if you press this button, it will space itself out from whatever surface it's up against. This way it can't get stuck in corners, and then you can push whichever side that you please, and it will once again move. You also have a wall button over here. This wall button allows you to teleport the crate back to its original position and reset the crate system. This is a very, very buggy puzzle compared to the others because it works with solidify and stacking items within each other. So, should the system fail or bug out or get separated from each other, you can press that button at any time to correct any problems that are occurring. You can intermittently press the magic button before it reaches its destination. However, doing so tends to result in things going awry, and I would not recommend it. So from here, I'm just going to push it over to those glacier rocks there. Now, you may get to see one of the bugs. I am certainly hoping that we do not encounter it. and so far seems to be working out quite well. Now, when the crate moves over the symbol, you'll see our glacier locked door and the glacier within it sink as fire is momentarily applied to it. You'll also see that the formation of glacier rocks in the room has changed and a new symbol has appeared. So I'm going to go ahead and activate our button, make it nice and easy, get it back to its original position. And I'll speed things up from here because this puzzle can be a little slow. Now, as our glacier rocks shrink yet again, you'll notice that these ice blocks have appeared on either side, preventing you from passing back to the other side. You can see that the symbol where you need to get your crate to is also on the other side. Now, fortunately, there is a way to bypass this. So, if you remember on the outside of the house, saying bye in menu chat would teleport you to the central area, unstucking you. And since you are stuck in this situation, you might as well unstuck yourself. You then simply walk over to your button to reset your crate and bring it back to the beginning. And with that, you'll see that the glacier fully melts, and we gain access to the next segment. Now, as we head up here, we find ourselves with a room full of floor spikes. Now, when you press the lever, you'll get a timer effect, and the floor spikes will disappear temporarily. However, if you don't clear out before the timer ends, the spikes will get you, and you will be teleported to the top of the room, which inevitably leads you back to the beginning. Now, while you do get stuck in this bench, this is not problematic just because, again, pressing the lever is going to turn it all invisible once again. So, the way that you solve this puzzle is you look for spaces in the floor that do not have spikes. So, as you see right there, there is no spike. So, if we run straight for that location, you'll see that we are safe until the timer starts again. And if we make use of all of the open spaces across the floor, we can reach the end quite easily. Once you reach the end, all of them will turn invisible, enabling you to pass through as you wish. Now, before we head on to our next puzzle, we are going to go ahead and pull on this stone block here, allowing passage through this area. This is not necessary for completing the house, however, it is a fun little convenience thing. Now, before we start on our very exciting and aesthetically pleasing mirror puzzle, we are going to see that we now have reached the top of our secret passage from before. If we activate the stone block, getting rid of it, we then gain entrance through the secret passage from the top. Now you see our storm orb is still in its prior position, and by sneaking up on it through this secret passage, we are able to pick it up. And that is one orb down. So, our mirror puzzle is kind of a passcode puzzle in a way. The final objective is you want your beam of light to bounce from our first mirror to our last mirror and hit this sun which will open the door. So if you see, when we activate our magic lever, you'll notice right now, only the first mirror is activated. The first mirror will always activate no matter what. If the first mirror faces correctly towards the second mirror will then activate accordingly. Even if the second mirror isn't facing the correct direction for the third mirror, so long as the first one is activated, the second one also will activate. This means that every single one has to be lined up properly in order for the last mirror to activate. However, if the last mirror is not facing the sun, the last mirror could activate without completing the puzzle. So everything has to be lined up accordingly. So if you see, when we interact with our magic button, it's going to rotate our pillar and the mirror with it. And if you activate them all so that they face in the correct direction, then you can complete the puzzle. As you can see, all 5 pillars and mirrors are now activating. Completing the puzzle. And as we enter through our portal, we find ourselves with our second orb. Now, if you want, you can place the orbs into their pedestals as soon as you please. The order at which you do does not matter. Or you can hold on to all of them and place them all at once quite cinematically. I think I'm going to go ahead and opt for the latter. So there's only one other way to go at this point, which is through here. So, obviously there are items placed in this room. Hence, there is some objective that awaits you here. You see the other door is blocked off by a wall. And so you must assume that that is the direction you want to go. So somehow you have to get rid of this wall. Now, I like to call this puzzle a maze, because in a sense it is. As you walk around, you want to make observations of this wall. That is why these windows are here, is because you have cross sections from other sides at which you can briefly look at the wall. As such, the only other cross section which you can see this wall from is this diagonal right here. So, as you walk around, if you have realized that, you will check through that cross section and see the wall was invisible and turned visible once more. This leaves you to understand that somewhere between over there and where we are now, the wall turned invisible. So, as it turns out, if you stop right here and turn around, the wall will turn invisible, and if you rush back, you can make it just in time. This will lead you to a teleporter, taking you to the next section. You will see a room with many buttons and many symbols, each paired together, and a door beckoning you to enter. Now, if you press these buttons, you may first observe that whatever order you press them in, once you have pressed 5 buttons, all of them will disappear. The only other option then is to use this lever, which turned out to input the wrong code, which will then reveal your buttons once more, allowing you to attempt to solve it again. If you also come down here temporarily, you can go ahead and open up the path to the previous storm orb location, fully linking everything once and for all. So, there must be some clue for us to solve what the code is for entering this puzzle and completing it. Now, some of you may have noticed, upon entering the large red teleporter, we appeared in this location, and to our right, there are the frills of a rug. This is to indicate to those who do not know that there is a secret room here. And this secret room is the key to solving our code puzzle. Now, at first, you may consider the sign under construction to be literal, referring to the planks strewn about against the wall. However, that is not so. If you remember, there was a sign, just like this one, in the code puzzle room. What you are supposed to do is correlate that there are 5 symbols on the top, 5 letters in the word under, which is on top, 12 letters, if I'm counting correctly, in the word construction, and 12 symbols below. So, using this, you can decipher which symbols represent which letters. This is important because the 5-letter code to solve the puzzle is the word enter, as we saw on the door blocking our path, the word enter. So we are going to find out that the letter E is represented by the tree, the letter N is represented by the snowflake, the letter T is represented by the dragon, and the letter R is represented by the thunder. Once we have this information, we can head back over. Now that we're back, we will enter E, N, T, E again, and R. We will pull the lever and unlock the door. Upon entering the portal, we have gained access to our final orb, the fire orb. The flames are unblocked, and we can return to the beginning. And now, we have but to place our 3 orbs. We get a nice cutscene, and we gain access, finally, to the tomb. Now, upon entering, you will see a number tick up. This number represents the boss's health. I'm sure you just heard an audio cue. The way that this fight works is that you have 3 functions which you can perform. You can shield, attack, or heal. The boss can do any of the 3 same things. Now, each audio cue tells you what the boss is going to do. When you hear that magical effect, it's indicating that the boss is going to heal. Now, this puzzle works very much through trial and error. If you lose by losing all 6 of your health represented by these beetles, then the fight will reset, the boss's health will be restored to his maximum of 30, and your health will be restored to your max 6 health. So, even if you fail, and you likely will, before you understand exactly how you're supposed to win, everything will be fine and you can reset. However, since I have the answers, I can tell you the correct move when he heals is to attack. So, when the boss heals, he regains 1 health. However, when you attack, you deal 5 damage, which means every time he heals and you attack, you deal a net 4 damage. And you'll see at the top of the screen, the boss has lost 4 health. Now, once our timer is ended, you'll hear another audio cue. When you hear ship bells, it indicates that he's going to shield. Now, if you shield and he shields, nothing happens. If you attack when he shields, you deal no damage. But if you heal, you restore 1 health. So the correct move every time he shields would be to heal. Though in this case, that isn't relevant because you already have full health. So he went ahead and healed again, so he just attacked. So now you heard thunder go off. Thunder means that he's attacking you. So his attacks deal 3 damage to you, taking out half your health if you do not mitigate it somehow. So you have 2 choices for mitigating it. You can shield or heal. Healing will restore 1 health, but a shield will block 2 damage so that he only deals 1 damage to you. Therefore, shielding is always the best option when he is attacking. So as you can see, we lost 1 health. We hear that he is shielding, so we know to heal, and we restore our 1 missing health. He healed, so we need to attack. Now that you understand the basic functions, I'm going to go ahead and speed through to the end of the fight. Now, as you can see, he reduces the boss's health to 0, and the boss disappears, and we claim our victory. The wall, which was previously behind us, preventing us from passing into the boss's area, has disappeared, and we can go and claim our treasure. This is the end of the house. The Dragonspire trophy has the intention of acting as a key to the next puzzle house, which I intend to be Dragonspire themed. So if you walk up to it, you can claim it for yourself. And that's about it. If you have any questions or are curious as to how each of the puzzles work, feel free to ask in the comments. I would be very pleased to answer. I hope you enjoyed the house and all of the puzzles. The house uses about 440 castle magic items in total, and was a huge heap of work in all. I appreciate you taking your time to take a look. Have a swell day. Bye-bye.